Despite being slightly confused by all the fuss, I'm really super flattered. My brows have become a characteristic that defines me, rather than a characteristic that defines how I feel. They're part of who I am, and that's exactly the point. They're part of what makes me, me. A trademark. There's only one of each of us in this world, so all those quirks that define us are special things that should be embraced, never pushed away. Now, quirky isn't only about the physical characteristics we're born with. It can also be about our personality traits. Growing up, I was fascinated by what made people tick and loved finding any excuse to socialize with strangers. I genuinely wanted to meet new people from all walks of life and get to know them, and I craved the gratification that came from making others and, by extension, myself happy. I used to go up to people on the street and compliment them, telling a lady I liked her shoes, hair, dress, you name it, or even telling a guy he was handsome. My friends found it so weird, and they definitely didn't understand where I got the guts to do it. Being super extroverted wasn't their style. Like the time I was 9 and waiting in line at an amusement park with my mom, and with her approval, I approached this intriguing-looking 30-something guy in front of us. I told him I thought he was cute. I then asked him to sit next to me on the roller coaster because I was scared and knew his cuteness would distract me. As you might expect, he was thrown at first, but eventually ended up caving. See? I was always weirdly brave around strangers, compelled to interact with them and befriend them even at the risk of embarrassing myself. I still remember going up to a heavily tattooed guy on a Harley-Davidson in Venice Beach when I was 6 and telling him in my sweet, innocent British accent that his tattoos were very pretty. Now, I'm sure that wasn't what he was expecting, nor what he wanted to hear in front of his fellow bikers, but I bet it made him smile on the inside. And I think that's why I did it. Not because I expected anything in return, but because I was never afraid to put myself out there in order to make someone else feel better, which is very similar to what I often do as an actor. I help bring to life stories that I hope will make people feel comforted or happy. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to spread a little happiness. It's beautiful. This sort of quirky free-spiritedness didn't stop there. Ever since I was little, I've sought out the company of people much older than me. As a kid, I didn't care that a grown-up and I had seemingly little in common because, well, once we got chatting, we had lots to say. Sometimes I even had more to talk about with them than with kids my age. Adults would ask me all kinds of questions about my generation and what certain words meant or what was cool. And I found them world-wise and hilarious. In fact, I made sure to include my friends' moms in conversations while my friends would rather have ignored them. Being so close with my own mom, I loved hearing her friends' stories and found their conversations really interesting. Maybe it was considered odd that I was socializing with people triple my age, but I genuinely didn't think twice about it. And the wisdom they imparted to me was really valuable. Being open and non-judgmental is an incredible thing. After all, it's how we'd want others to be towards us. So who cares if some people didn't understand my outgoing nature or my love of socializing? Who cares if I was often the youngest person in the room? I've realized that whenever I feel self-conscious about any of my quirks, it's because I assume people are judging me. That's where the danger lies. You damage your own self-image when you compare yourself to others and to what you see in the media. And even though I'm in those magazines, movies, and shows, for a long time, I still did it too. But once I accepted myself as I am, quirks included, it didn't matter how others viewed me because, well, I liked what I saw. When people point out your differences as negative, it's only because they're insecure themselves. And it can be extremely hard not to take personally, but the second we allow that to happen, we give power and truth to their words. I may not have always behaved, hell, I may not always behave now in a way that was expected, but how boring would it be if we all followed the same rules and did what was expected? Yeah, pretty damn boring. So let's proudly share our quirks. Be you and embrace your differences as things that make you unique and special. Different shouldn't be considered confusing, negative, or something that divides us. It should be a quality we applaud and admire within ourselves and others. Whenever I sense any self-doubt creeping in to make me feel like an alien, I repeat my mom's mantra to myself. The quirky things that make you different are what make you beautiful. And I remember